Hello, my name is Diego. This is a presentation on the benefits of cold exposure and how you can use it effectively to scientifically improve your mental performance and your physical health. Now, the effects of cold exposure on mental health is widely talked about because your ability to handle stressful situations and bringing your mind into a calmer state is substantially improved after exercising cold water immersion. These people are the Buds Navy SEALs. They spend 6 weeks doing a Hell Week training program, and they're able to successfully change their brain and body and improve their performance using primarily cold exposure. Your physical health is how well you feel short term and your long term, and you need to make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating foods that aren't harmful to your bodies, and of course exercising. Cold exposure, as you will see, will able to improve all these facets of your life. Sleeping in a cold environment provides better sleep quality. Why? Because your body has blood vessels that if we were to take out of your body and extend all the way across the circumference of the earth, it will extend 2.5 times that circumference of the earth. Your skin is the largest organ of your body. And when exposed to the cold, it vasoconstricts, meaning that you start to shiver and you experience shortness of breath. Right? When your body warms up again, your blood vessels open up bigger than before you entered, allowing you to take in more oxygen from your breathing. Your body also releases dopamine, which is the molecule of craving, as well as adrenaline, which is very stressful because it increases your level of attention and your mood. And also your metabolic rate increases 93%. Your dopamine increases 250% above the baseline level of dopamine for up to 2.5 hours. Your baseline dopamine doesn't go down, however, afterwards. If I eat chocolate, if I indulge in adult content or take drugs, that will increase the amount of dopamine that I feel, and that's why we become addicted to these substances, because it's not the pleasure, but it's the drive towards it that is so compelling. Entering the cold is no small feat as it activates your flight or fight response in your body, which increases the hormones of endorphins and adrenaline. And again, adrenaline is the universal code for stressor in the body. It increases the amount of agitation you feel in both body and mind. So some people's bodies of adverse nature to the cold will actually produce adrenaline and nervousness just thinking about it. The frontal lobe's capacity to think also decreases about 30 to 50% because your energy is directed to your amygdala, or the emotional center of the brain. Right? Our brain does not notice the difference between a threat such as a lion versus, a threat like when you're driving. Right? Physically, our eyes dilate. We become more aware, sensitive, and focused, and our digestive system shuts down. We also have two types of fat. One is visceral, which no one likes, right? And no one likes to see. But there's another called brown fat, which is really important because when we are cold, it dumps heat quickly, right? It comes from our chest, some in our cheek, right? A lot of babies are born and have brown fat, right? Compared to visceral fat. We can't use visceral fat immediately as we can with brown fat. Athletes can also use cold exposure as a tool to recover quicker from muscle soreness and inflammation. There is a man called Wim Hof, who is a Dutch athlete who became famous after completing 21 world records, such as being submerged to the neck up, swimming under the Arctic ice a football's length, and even running a marathon in a desert. His accomplishments gave the scientific community a new guinea pig to this experiment, as he was subjected with an endotoxin in 2013 that mimics the effects of the common flu because the bacteria activates inflammatory proteins. And within 45 minutes, the patients experienced headaches, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, fatigue, and sweating. But Wim Hof, using a breathing technique that activates the sympathetic nervous system, the autonomic response, was able to spike his adrenaline and cause the proteins to rise earlier with more volume, suppressing more quickly the bacteria. And he is a genetic freak because in less than 1 week, he brought a team of 12 people that he helped practice cold exposure and breath work to do the same endotoxin experiment. 11 out of the 12 experienced little to no symptoms, no more than a mild headache. knowingly and willingly, we are able to control the immune system. It only takes 11 to 15 minutes per week of cold exposure. And how cold should the temperature be? Well, the temperature should be uncomfortably cold. You could take a cold shower, you could do an ice bath, you could drive with the windows down, you could wear less clothes during the winter. My personal experience is with cold experience was the same as like a baby learning how to walk. At first, I wasn't able to withstand more than 30 seconds in a cold shower. Now, after 20, this video is sped up 5 times, and I spent 20 minutes in meditation here. And I can't do an ice bath no longer than 2 minutes, but I can see the evidence that my performance in not just my physical body but my mental body as well has increased in all my facets of life, right? There is a lot of science with this, right? This isn't just like mindfulness, which is also really helpful, but cold exposure is one of the best ways you could improve your mental performance and your physical health quickly. This is my father. He's in the background right now, he's in the background shoveling while with fully clothed and fully dressed, while I'm still sitting and I'm physically stressed out, right? But because of my mindfulness technique of doing the breath work, which is simply 30x inhalations, right? Taking a deep breath. Taking 30 deep breaths like this. And then just letting it go, right? But you're doing that 30 times. After 30 times, you exhale. And you don't breathe again. And you could notice that your mind just shuts off. Your thinking just stops thinking. Right? You become aware of your body, and because you're in the moment, in the present moment, you're not thinking about the future, you're not thinking about the past, because if you're living in the past, then you're depressed. If you're thinking about the future, then you're anxious. But by noticing the breath, you're able to live in the present moment and experience nirvana, bliss, whatever, the newfound ages, whatever they want to call it now, but it's just the present moment. It's meditation, it's awareness, it's mindfulness, right? So we find that with the breath work. I have a fan right here that it wasn't on the whole time because I didn't want it to be loud for you guys, but I keep the room super cold. I take a lot of cold showers every day, and life just feels like good. Even this past winter felt like a summer to me because I wasn't stressed all the time, So I hope this helped out English 101. Thank you for listening, and take care.